I don't think it's fair for some girls to have plenty of pretty things and other girls nothing at all, added little Amy with an injured sniff. Our first introduction to Amy March on Louisa May Alcott's To the Women says a lot about her character. She is stiff, has a lot of nerve, and in simple words can be pretty annoying. Yet despite her flaws, I have always found her to be an interesting character. Little Women tells a story of four sisters navigating life, love, and loss in 19th century America, and Little Women is a big topic in my house as we are constantly debating which character we each are, my dad included. Yet the general public does not seem to agree with my care for Amy, as there have been numerous articles and conversations talking about what a bad character the youngest March sister is. But why is this important? A study made by the University of Chicago revealed that when we first meet people, we tend to need more proof to believe someone's moral character is worse than a better, which in simpler words it says that it is easier to become a sinner than a saint. An example being Amy, up until 2019's new Little Women film, in which we get our first glance at her all grown up rather than a child, in a scene titled New Impressions. We were so fast to judge Amy that we forgot what a strong character she is, a fearless woman who stands by what she believes in to the very end. And when we first meet her, we just see her for what she was, instead of thinking who she could become in the future. Which brings me to the past. When I was trying to investigate about this topic, I decided to make an experiment, and I asked some of my closest friends what was their first impression of me was, and I did receive some flattering responses, but don't be fooled, not all of them were positive. A friend of mine that I've known for quite some time said that when she first met me, the word airhead popped into her head. And I was very offended, but I tried to brush it off, and later that day went to a school game and I was talking to some people, and all of a sudden I caught myself being quite detached and foolish about the conversation. So, was my friend right all along? No, because I can act pretty unfoolish most of the time. And yes, because when she met me, I was probably acting foolish. I wasn't the only one who did this experiment. Charlene Rocha, a TED Talk speaker, did too. And in her speech, she said that she admired people who were themselves 100% of the time. But it's hard for us to do that. Being yourself takes time and effort. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Which brings me to something that I know we have all said. Blonde women are dumb, or Latin American people can be dangerous. Common and even funny stereotypes I hear all the time. But what happens when we take these everyday sayings and make them harmful? Blonde women are just unintelligent. Latin American people are flat out dangerous and we shouldn't be associated with them. It puts these people in a box, one that oftentimes defines them. And don't get me wrong, these boxes could very well be positive. I often hear things such as men are leaders or women are caring, but by using these, don't we disqualify the ability for men to be kind-hearted and women from being positive leaders? Constantly focusing on what makes people different instead of thinking what makes them unique. Something that we can not only apply to Amy and myself, but to a lot of people. And I know that I have talked a lot about women, but these terms apply to everybody, not just us. The perfect example also being a very famous artist you've probably seen in a throw pillow, Frida Kahlo. A great artist, right? But at the time, people just saw her for two things: the wife of a very famous artist and a woman. We meet people every day, and when we first meet them, we probably put them in a box. But there's some things that we can do when we first meet people. We need to understand that the first thing you see is not what they truly are. They have a backstory, there's different circumstances, and they have lived a long life that you will probably get to know throughout their life. So please, the next time you meet an Amy, an airhead, or a cool Latin American, please, please know that there's much more to them, or in this case us, as what it says when we first meet you. Thank you.